Hello and welcome back to my top 10 worst Doctor Who stories. Today we are on number 7, The Rebel Flesh and the Almost People. It's a two-part story starring Matt Smith, Karen Gillan and Arthur Darvill. It's written by Matthew Graham. Yeah. Moving on. Plot. What can I say about the plot? The Doctor is suspicious of Amy being pregnant and knows that Amy's a ganger. Sorry, I'm just going to spoil the entire storyline now because it's not really that easy to... You've probably seen it anyway. So he has suspicions that she's a ganger, and which you'll find out more about. They're clones, and that she's pregnant. So he intends to drop them off for fish and chips while he goes to seek out some flesh to scan. Yeah, the storyline's a bit weird and stupid. But anyway, there's a solar flare, just randomly, and they get forced to land where he has to go and check out the flesh, but there are people, and then the solar flare gets worse, and then the clones of the people become evil clones, and then it becomes a fight to the death, but then they all become happy people, and people die, and, you know, things like that. So yeah, we will start with bad points since this is a worst story, not a best story. Bad points. The whole pregnancy thing, it's a thing I didn't like in series 6. It was just stupid and it was pointless added drama. I said it back then and I'll say it now. Like most of the episodes in the series, the flow of the story goes too fast. Like most of the time throughout the episode, the flow of the story goes too fast, and then when it actually needs to be a faster flow, it slows down. And it's... some people will understand what I'm saying, and some people will just say, what the hell are you going on about flow and things? I know what I'm going on about. Jennifer, played by Sarah Smart. Yeah. She's annoying. She's an annoying character which gradually gets more annoying throughout the entire thing. I mean, throughout both episodes she just gets more and more annoying. I hate her. The character Cleves just seems to be acting like a bitch, just as an excuse to make the story go somewhere. Because if she wasn't a bitch, then they wouldn't be in the situation where they wouldn't have evacuated earlier because of the solar flares. But I suppose that's what creates the story, however shite it is. Jennifer's acting is abysmal. She's over the top, and then when she's the ganger, she's even more over the top. This entire episode is mistaken identity theft, kind of racism, kind of subliminal messages throughout the entire story. That's what it seems to go on a bit about racism, like they're the same person, and human rights and identity theft. It's all that, like tons of subliminal, pointless messages within the story. Cleves' ganger is just as over the top when she's in ganger form as Jen's ganger, even though Jen's ganger is constantly over the top. Jen seems to have a pointless attachment to Rory throughout the entire thing, and it's not even good. I mean, it doesn't create anything. It's just pointless. I don't like the eye patch lady, Madame Crevrain, or however you pronounce her name. I don't really appreciate the fact that she randomly appears throughout the beginning of the series to then randomly appear in a few episodes herself. A thing that I have noticed in this episode is that Amy's just being pointlessly anti-ganger and being rather bitchy, and it's ironic because of the way it turns out that she is actually a ganger herself. Irony! Yeah. It hints that Amy's pregnant throughout the episode. Like, that it's positive, because you do find out that there could be a possibility she's pregnant, but the hints aren't subtle at all. They're too obvious throughout the episode, like when the doctor goes, push, or where she kind of goes, oh, I feel, and then she's alright. It's too obvious. It's blindly obvious when Jen's ganger is the ganger. Like, it's blindly obvious that she's the ganger and not Jen, in places where the audience is meant to think that that might be Jen, but it's actually quite obvious that it's the ganger. And that's down to her acting, I think. I think she acts over the top, which I'm saying is bad, but maybe that was the way her character's meant to be. But the ganger is even more over the top, and it's just irritating. I just want to attack the screen when she's over the top acting bullshit. There's a massive plot hole. Like, in this story, there's a massive plot hole. When the hell was Amy taken and replaced by a ganger? When the actual hell did that happen? Just saying. I'm just saying. Maybe it was shown off screen. Maybe it was an off-screen moment, but it hasn't actually been explained at all, because Series 6 isn't present. We're on to Series 7 now, and it's still not really explained when she was taken or what happened. Yes, I have Series 6 now, which is when I said I would review this episode, when I got it, but I've had it for quite a bit, but, you know. And then Madame Crevrain appears at the end and basically tells Amy to push in the most anticlimactic, obvious ending to that story ever. She's just a pointless middleman character, in the fact that she isn't really a leader of whatever. She looks like she is, but then towards the end of Series 6, she's just not. It's quite bad for me to review it from a point of view of already seeing the entire series. Moving on, I'll talk about that at the end. The good points of this story, what few there is. I've said in a past video that I didn't like the cloning. I thought it was a rip-off of the Sontarans, and it kind of was, in like the stratagem, Sontaran stratagem, clones and cloning Martha and things like that. It was kind of like that, but I thought it was a cool cloning technique, like shown in a story. It was quite interesting. Kind of based off The Island, I think, if that's the one with the clones. I'm not quite sure because I haven't seen that film in a while. The CGI effects when you see the solar flare in the sky is really good CGI. I think it's very impressive, even though that the ganger monster thing isn't impressive as CGI, but never mind. I like it when the Cleves ganger basically does a creepy Exorcist 360-degree head spin. that's just creepy. I like the idea of a clone doctor as well, which happens at the end of the first of the two-parter, and then you see more of the clone doctor. And I like the past regenerations talking through the Ganger Doctor. I thought that was a good point as well. But other than that, nothing really sprouted as particularly good about this episode. Everything was either mediocre or a bad point, so yeah. Overall, I'd give this a rating probably similarly to all the rest in this so far in the top 10 worst, which will be a 3 out of 10. Probably because although it's worse than the others that I've mentioned on this list, I wouldn't say it's deemable of a 2 or a 1 out of 10 or a 0, because of the fact that it's watchable still, and it's got a cool cloning technique. I mean, what more do you want? And there is a few good aspects to this, but overall it's terrible. Yeah. I have reviewed this episode before, and the thing is, I was even more harsh in that review, I think. But that was because I didn't know what was going to happen through the series, because I reviewed it when I watched it originally when it aired. So this is more of an up-to-date. I've actually realised something to myself, that when I've kind of grown in my reviews, I've structured them a little more, planned a little. Fair enough, not amazingly, but I've learned to structure them a bit more, because usually it was just me ranting on at a camera without any notes or anything behind, just saying what I thought, which is good, but also it can be a bit bad, because I go over the top and rant on, and it's ridiculous. So yeah, that's why I've kind of, instead of said, oh, I'll just send you the link of the video and just say I've already reviewed it, but it's on my list of top 10 worst, I've actually re-reviewed it. I could do that for the entirety of the 6 theories, completely re-review it, because of the fact that I didn't structure them as well then. But I'm probably just going to leave it unless they appear on any form of lists, top 10 or lists in the future, or anything like that. But other than that, I won't come back to re-reviewing anything I have already reviewed, unless it appears on a list. So anyway, thank you for watching. Next time on my review, we will be reviewing on my top 10 best, number 7 as Silver Nemesis, and on my top 10 worst we'll be on number 6, which will be after my top 10 best, and it will be Hungry Earth and Cold Blood. How I despise that episode as well. Well, that story, it's 2 episodes. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this review. I'm sorry if I've been going off on tangents, but I tend to do that a lot. Thank you very much for watching.